Hi, I'm Andrew Clark, the Logistics Optimizer. In this clip from session 3 of the Axis Group Fulfillment Forum, I talk about the importance of space utilisation in the warehouse. So I hope you enjoy it.
Space utilisation, right? Space costs money. And if we could afford all the inventory we wanted and all the space we needed to store it, it didn't cost anything, our lives would be much simpler, but it's not quite that simple, is it? Andrew, maybe kick off with yourself on this one.
Sure. So I would say going back to the fundamentals within a warehouse are the way your warehouse has actually been designed to store the inventory. If you have, and not everyone has the chance to do this, and you have what you have. But if you get a chance to build a new warehouse and really match the storage systems to the profile of your products so that you get the best fit of products into storage, into the storage systems, that makes a huge difference to the capacity utilization. One of the first things that I do when I walk into a warehouse and making a basic assessment is I look for air in the racks. So if you see lots of pallet spaces that are half full, and a few, they've got a few cases on there, or you see shelves and there's like one item on a shelf, because only one product is allocated to it, and nothing else is there, then you know that there's something going wrong with the way that they're using the space in the warehouse. And that has two impacts. One, you just don't get the value out of the real estate. But two, you're also, because the inventory is more spread out, if your space utilization is poor, then you're actually increasing the travel distance. And travel distance, movement distance is like everything in terms of warehouse efficiency. That's what the entire field is all about, is reducing the movement of products. So utilization is really important. And so you can do some basics, like anyone, no matter what system you have, even if it's just a manual system, you can walk around and you can do a pallet count. You can go, how many empty spaces have I got? And you can look at your full versus empties. You can look at your shelves, empty versus partial versus full shelf utilization. And you look for it. Anyone can do that in the warehouse and then go, make an assessment of how they're performing and put that in a spreadsheet and track it. If you've got a warehouse management system and if you have dimensional data on both your bin locations and your products, you can then look at your inventory by location. You can make some sort of assessment as to the volume capacity of your warehouse. So that's easier now. That becomes a spreadsheet exercise instead of actually physically trying to assess it, qualitatively in the warehouse. But if you're doing a simple volume assessment, then really, volume products are not made of water, right? So you're not going to get 100% full. You're only going to you're going to go maybe 80% is or 70% is actually the maximum practical capacity of a bin location. And so you've got to go, well, if it's 75%, it's full. So you can do basic rules of thumb like that. Beyond that, you've really got to go to some sort of AI or algorithmic assessment of the fit of products, physical size of products into bin location. I don't really know anyone that's actually doing that. I've certainly heard of people talking about it as a function, but I've not yet seen anyone that is going down to that. And then just thinking a little bit beyond that, there's also the where you put things, where you decide where to put things in the location, which is a bit like the previous question around inventory placement, but just within the warehouse. So there's a whole discipline called product slotting, which is designed to optimize the placement of products within a warehouse so that they're in the best position, again, to minimize movement. So just that field is almost a discipline in itself.
And therefore probably worthwhile having someone focused on, right, if we're running a warehouse of reasonable scale. Yep.
Absolutely. And there's software available to do that. Some warehouse management systems have slotting packages available within them. I know Manhattan does. But there are external slotting packages that you can get. There's warehouse optimization software, some of which I'm involved with, where they're looking at that slotting problem now, and they're starting to bring data science and AI techniques to that. So that technology, which used to be really in the preserve of the Coles and the Woolies and the large DCs, is now kind of coming down into sort of mid-market. And I think eventually you'll find that sort of thing will just be standard in WMS packages.